Can a landlocked country, once struggling with security instability, turn its military into a powerhouse capable of facing down insurgencies and foreign threats, all without begging for help from the West? Burkina Faso isn't just talking the talk, they're walking the walk, and their Air Force is leading the charge. Under the visionary leadership of President Ibrahim Traoré, the Burkinabe Air Force has transformed so impressively that it could make even the most established military powers a little nervous. This isn't just about buying shiny new jets or drones. It's about a country saying, we've had enough of relying on others. It's time to take control. So, how exactly has Burkina Faso managed to go from a nation battling insurgents to a country with one of the most capable air forces in the region? Let's find out. Burkina Faso isn't exactly swimming in resources. It's a country with a small military budget, facing constant security threats from insurgent groups and terror cells operating in the vast and volatile Sahel region. Yet somehow, the Burkinabe Air Force has pulled off something remarkable. It has modernized its air fleet to a level that many larger, wealthier nations are still trying to achieve. So, how did they do it? It wasn't magic. It was strategic planning, prioritizing technology, and a serious commitment to self-reliance. In essence, Burkina Faso achieved this feat by focusing on what matters most: cutting-edge technology that can provide the Air Force with an edge in this complex battle space. At first glance, this may seem like a dream. After all, Burkina Faso doesn't have the financial clout of larger African powers like Egypt or South Africa. But rather than trying to match their big-ticket spending on large-scale military equipment, the Burkinabe government took a different route. They focused on investing in the most crucial areas that would provide them with immediate and strategic benefits. The Burkinabe Air Force wasn't looking to become the most powerful military in Africa. It was looking to be the most agile, strategic, and self-sufficient in terms of defense. One of the first and most significant investments Burkina Faso made was in drones. And no, we're not talking about the standard consumer-grade UAVs you might see in a hobbyist's backyard. These are highly advanced surveillance-grade drones designed to meet the specific needs of the Burkinabe Air Force. Drones are the cornerstone of the Air Force's ability to monitor vast stretches of land, providing constant real-time intelligence. Think of it as a fleet of flying eyes constantly scanning the horizon. This allows the Air Force to spot potential threats before they materialize and neutralize them before they escalate. But these drones are more than just tech for the sake of it. They represent a massive leap forward for a nation that's had to rely on external assistance for too long. Instead of purchasing expensive foreign surveillance systems that would drain limited resources and take forever to arrive, Burkina Faso decided to build its fleet of unmanned aerial vehicles and UAVs. This decision was pivotal. It didn't just improve Burkina Faso's intelligence-gathering capabilities, it made them more self-reliant. Now, Burkina Faso could launch these drones whenever they needed them, with no waiting around for foreign suppliers to fulfill their orders. The UAVs became the eyes of the sky, providing invaluable information about insurgent movements, hidden weapon caches, and supply routes that insurgents were using to infiltrate the region. And unlike conventional intelligence systems, these drones didn't just rely on satellites. They could fly low, covering difficult-to-reach terrains, and gather intelligence in places satellites couldn't even reach. The cost-effectiveness of this approach is worth noting. While many nations are still spending billions on foreign surveillance tech, Burkina Faso was able to build a sophisticated fleet of drones at a fraction of the cost. By cutting out the middleman, they gained a serious tactical advantage. And this isn't just a one-off purchase. Burkina Faso continues to expand its drone capabilities. ensuring they're ready for whatever comes next. But drones aren't the only new piece of tech in Burkina Faso's arsenal. To complement their surveillance drones, Burkina Faso turned its attention to its combat aircraft and fighter jets. These planes are no ordinary military jets. They are specifically chosen for their ability to operate in the complex, varied terrain of Burkina Faso, from its rugged mountains to its vast savannas. The country needed aircraft that could deliver precision strikes against insurgent groups hiding in remote, hard-to-reach areas, and that's exactly what these new additions to the fleet can do. These fighter jets are nimble, highly maneuverable, and capable of carrying out precision airstrikes with surgical accuracy. Whether it's taking out insurgent hideouts in the hills or eliminating insurgents' training camps deep in the bush, Burkina Faso's fighter jets have been designed to be highly adaptable and efficient in their operations. This allows them to go beyond simple defense and instead take the battle to the insurgents, denying them any haven. Furthermore, these aircraft are equipped with advanced targeting systems and sophisticated weaponry that provide Burkina Faso's Air Force with the firepower it needs to hit back at insurgent forces. Whether it's close air support for ground troops or direct airstrikes on enemy positions, these jets allow Burkina Faso's military to exert total control over its territory. The strategic decision to invest in this kind of precision technology is a direct response to the changing nature of warfare in the Sahel. Insurgent groups aren't large armies, they're highly mobile and tend to hide among civilian populations or in tough-to-reach locations. Traditional methods of warfare, such as large-scale bombing runs or artillery strikes, simply don't cut it in this environment. But these specialized jets, they provide Burkina Faso with the exact type of firepower it needs to eliminate threats while minimizing collateral damage. Now here's where the real test comes in. What good are all these technological upgrades if the Air Force can't deploy them quickly enough to stop the threats before they get out of hand? The clock is ticking, and in the world of counterinsurgency, a few hours can mean the difference between life and death. Speed is critical. To answer this, Burkina Faso didn't just focus on the technology, it made sure its infrastructure could handle the rapid deployment of these advanced systems. The creation of strategically located air bases across the country ensures that when a threat emerges, the Air Force can respond within hours. These air bases aren't just run-of-the-mill facilities. They are purpose-built and heavily supported by logistical systems that allow for fast turnaround times. Aircraft can be quickly refueled, rearmed, and ready for the next mission. This infrastructure upgrade is an integral part of Burkina Faso's strategy. The quicker the Air Force can deploy its new drones and jets, the faster it can neutralize threats before they escalate. It's one thing to have advanced technology, it's another to have the infrastructure to support its rapid deployment. By ensuring that its military bases are located near hotspots, Burkina Faso has positioned itself to be more agile, responding to insurgent activities before they spiral out of control. But the real magic of this strategy lies in how the Air Force can use its tech and speed to outsmart insurgents. In the Sahel, insurgents are well known for their ability to move quickly across borders, setting up operations and then vanishing just as fast. The Burkinabe Air Force has learned to anticipate this, and with their tech, speed, and precision, they're one step ahead of the enemy. So, Burkina Faso's journey to modernizing its Air Force isn't just a story of technology. It's a story of innovation, adaptability, and strategic vision. By choosing technology that gives them a tactical edge, drones that can see everything, jets that can strike fast, and bases that can respond in an instant, Burkina Faso has proven that even without a huge military budget, a small nation can still hold its own on the global stage. The integration of advanced surveillance drones and fighter jets isn't just about flexing military muscle. It's about creating a self-sustaining defense system that doesn't rely on external powers or foreign suppliers. Burkina Faso has taken matters into its own hands and is reshaping the way small nations defend themselves against the growing threats in the Sahel. Now let's talk about the next crucial piece of the puzzle. How does Burkina Faso ensure that its rapidly modernized Air Force stays ahead of the curve when it comes to skilled personnel? It's one thing to buy the latest drones and fighter jets, but if you don't have the right people to operate them, all that shiny tech is just a fancy display. Fortunately, Burkina Faso has a clear strategy to develop its workforce and turn them into experts who can handle the most advanced military technology. And no, They're not relying on foreign contractors or training programs. Instead, Burkina Faso has made a bold decision to build its homegrown talent. This isn't just a case of we can do it ourselves. This is a deliberate, strategic approach to creating a sustainable and self-sufficient air force that doesn't need to depend on anyone else, especially not the West. And it's working. When you're in a country with limited resources, one of the smartest things you can do is invest in your people. And that's exactly what Burkina Faso has done. Instead of sending its future pilots, technicians, and engineers abroad for training, the Burkinabe government has established specialized military schools designed to train its workforce from the ground up. These schools aren't just about teaching the basics of aviation. They're about creating experts who know the land, the people, and the challenges of Burkina Faso better than anyone from the outside could.
The fact there were no other female pilots in the Burkina Faso Air Force at the time did not stop her.
I kept this dream, I nurtured it, and as soon as the Air Force gave me the opportunity to realize it, I did not hesitate. I took my chance, and here I am, a pilot.
That was 7 years ago, and now she's a fully fledged transport pilot for the Air Force and plays an active role in the country's battle against terror groups linked to the Islamic State and Al-Qaeda. She says as the first female military pilot in Burkina Faso, she doesn't feel she has faced any more obstacles than a man would, except perhaps more pressure to perform.
So, when you're the only female in men's circles, all eyes are on you. Your work is scrutinized very closely, so I had to work harder than the others to prove that I was capable of piloting, like the men.
Imagine trying to conduct military operations in the rugged, diverse terrain of Burkina Faso. It's not just about flying jets. It's about understanding the local geography, knowing where insurgents are likely to hide, and having a cultural sensitivity that allows military personnel to work with local populations. That's something foreign-trained recruits would struggle to replicate. By training their Air Force personnel locally, Burkina Faso ensures that their soldiers not only know how to operate high-tech equipment, but also how to navigate their homeland's unique security challenges. Local training doesn't just benefit the Air Force, it creates a strong sense of national pride and self-reliance. These recruits are invested in the defense of their own country, and they have the skills necessary to defend it effectively. With local expertise, Burkina Faso can move away from the reliance on foreign military forces and contractors, gaining a tactical edge that is built from within. And it's not just about turning out highly skilled recruits. Burkina Faso has also introduced a mentorship program that pairs experienced officers with younger recruits. This system ensures that the Air Force not only has new talent, but it also nurtures future leaders who can carry the burden of responsibility. Mentorship isn't just about passing on technical knowledge. It's about instilling values of leadership, decision-making, and adaptability. These qualities are crucial when dealing with modern warfare, especially in a country like Burkina Faso, where the security landscape can change overnight. Think about it. The Air Force can train its recruits to fly the most sophisticated aircraft, but those recruits still need to understand how to make quick, accurate decisions under pressure. They need to know how to lead during times of crisis, how to work with local communities to gather intelligence, and how to build trust within the ranks. This mentorship ensures continuity within the Air Force, meaning that the force is never left without experienced leadership, no matter how quickly the threat environment shifts. The long-term impact of this mentorship is significant. It's not just about building a skilled workforce. It's about ensuring that there is a constant flow of qualified leaders who understand the nuances of military operations in Burkina Faso. These leaders are already battle-tested and have a deep understanding of the operational needs on the ground. This continuity strengthens the Air Force's overall effectiveness and resilience in the face of evolving threats. But here's the truth. In modern warfare, you can't afford to stop learning. Technology evolves, new tactics emerge, and new threats arise. So, while local recruitment and mentorship are crucial, Burkina Faso's Air Force is also committed to continuous training and development. In a world where enemies adapt quickly, the Air Force can't afford to rest on its laurels. Burkina Faso has invested heavily in providing ongoing professional development to its personnel. Whether it's through specialized courses, simulated combat scenarios, or partnerships with neighboring countries, the Air Force makes sure that its personnel are consistently updated on the latest technologies, tactics, and combat strategies. This is where things get interesting. By integrating international collaboration and joint exercises with other African nations, Burkina Faso ensures that its personnel are exposed to new ideas, combat techniques, and technologies. This helps them stay sharp and competitive in a global security environment that's constantly shifting. This continuous training isn't just about learning the newest tech, it's about ensuring that the Air Force remains prepared for every possible scenario. Burkina Faso's personnel are trained to think on their feet, adapt to changing circumstances, and stay ahead of enemy tactics. This adaptability is key in the ever-evolving world of counterinsurgency, where yesterday's strategies may not work today. Now let's zoom out for a second. All of this sounds great: training, mentorship, continuous development. But is it sustainable in the long term? Will Burkina Faso's Air Force be able to keep up with future challenges, particularly as the threats it faces become more complex? The answer is yes, but only if they keep building on this foundation. By focusing on homegrown talent, mentorship, and continuous professional development, Burkina Faso is creating a system that can evolve with the changing security landscape. The Air Force doesn't need to rely on foreign training programs or experts because it has already built a self-sustaining ecosystem that grows from within. This approach gives Burkina Faso the ability to adapt quickly to new challenges and continue to develop the expertise needed to confront them head-on. And here's the best part. This model doesn't just apply to the Air Force. By investing in education and training programs, Burkina Faso is building a broader culture of skilled workers who can contribute to the country's overall security, economy, and technological advancement. These young recruits, who are trained to defend their country, are also developing critical skills that can be applied in other sectors, from technology to engineering to logistics. Ultimately, this strategy builds not just a stronger Air Force, but a stronger nation. As Burkina Faso continues to evolve its workforce, it is creating a sustainable model that allows it to stay competitive and self-reliant in an increasingly complex world. Now let's end the video with a simple question. Is Burkina Faso ready to protect itself? The answer, based on everything we've discussed, is a resounding yes. With its modernized Air Force, locally trained personnel, and strategic technological investments, Burkina Faso has made significant strides in self-defense. No longer relying on foreign powers for support, the country has developed a highly capable, self-sufficient military force that can respond swiftly to any threat within its borders. From advanced surveillance drones to maneuverable fighter jets, Burkina Faso now possesses the tools to monitor and combat insurgents with precision. Its strategic air bases and rapid deployment capabilities ensure that threats are addressed before they escalate. More importantly, the nation's commitment to developing a skilled, homegrown workforce guarantees that its Air Force will remain strong and adaptive to future challenges. While no military is ever truly invincible, Burkina Faso is undoubtedly in a much stronger position than it was a few years ago. It has built a force capable of defending its sovereignty and standing tall in the face of evolving security challenges. The country is now a model of how nations, even with limited resources, can rise to meet their security needs, without looking outside for help. Do you think more nations should follow Burkina Faso's path? What will happen if all African nations become strong like Burkina Faso? Let us know in the comment section. Is Africa still in need of help? Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If so, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon next to it. We have decided to bring videos on something nobody talks about: the Black culture, civilization, history, and evidence about how glorious Blacks have been. Thanks for watching, and until the next video, stay tuned.